Says we are live.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We are live here on our 16th episode of Yuntaku Live. Thank you for your patience. Nice background, DJ. Nice,
thank
nice
you.
sign behind you. I like it. All right. Very good. Today we're going to have a little bit of behind the scenes. We wanted to show you what it's like and all the different people who are kind of involved with Yuntaku Live, as well as the HUOA Okinawa Center. I think, especially during this time when, we're all socially apart or we're physically distant, we'd like to make sure that we stay socially connected, and that sometimes it's fun to see the people behind all the happenings going on in our Okinawan community. So here we go. Thank you so much for your patience. We are, like we said, we're always testing out a few new things. So DJ, tell us a little bit about where you're sitting, because that's definitely different from what you normally do.
So, it's interesting. So I'm in the guest chair. We don't have a special guest today, right? A musical guest. So I'm here sitting where the guest typically sits. We just put a table up here, and then we got a new background, which I don't have. I'll try to get it in a little bit later. But yeah, totally different location.
Yeah,
I'm loving
very
it.
good. And
comfortable
then,
chair too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, more comfortable than your normal, maybe. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And again, we really want to make sure that everyone maintains, maintain all of your social distancing practices, wear masks when you're out in public. It's been it's been a little bit of a scary week with the numbers going as high as they are in the community here, especially here on Oahu. So please be safe. We know, it's happening all over the country, but we are concerned for everyone's health and safety. So let's keep our protocols, our safety protocols up there, because we really don't want to have to, go back to any really strict stay-at-home orders.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, quick reminder. So we really need your guys' help, everybody, all the viewers out there. And if you could tell your friends, your family, your aunties, grandmas, grandpas, we're at. So if you go to YouTube, first of all, YouTube, just so that you know, you're able to view it a little bit higher definition. And so I always recommend YouTube, although Facebook's always more easier to set up. But YouTube, you can watch it in higher definition. And if you haven't already, we really need your help to get a subscribe. There's a red button at the bottom right of the video. It's red and it says subscribe. It's free. It doesn't mean that you're going to pay anything, but it helps us. Once we get 1,000 subscribers, then we're able to be a little bit more of a partner for YouTube and work with monetization that would help our association out. So we're at 650 right now. Our goal, right? Yeah. So yeah, we had a big jump from a couple of days ago, and we really appreciate you for that. But let your aunties, uncles know we need that subscribe. We just need 350, and our goal is to get it before September 4, which is our virtual Okinawan festival. So really need your support, guys. Yeah.
Yes. So, like we said, we're looking for, it's tough times for all groups out there, all organizations this year. And so we're especially looking to our friends and donors. So if you like what you see, if you appreciate the content that we're sharing with you, please, and if you do have the means, please feel free to donate to our Hawaii United Okinawa Association. And then somebody asked me, of course, you can do it online, HUOA.org. There's a donate button in your upper right corner there. But they asked me, can we just send in our checks? And I said, of course, you can always send in your checks. If she goes, for us older people, we don't like doing this stuff online. Like, I'd rather just send you a check. And I said, of course, Auntie, we'll always accept your check. So you can, send checks in the mail. And Karen, thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Karen, guess what? You're gonna be part of the stars tonight too. So, yes. But yes, the address is actually, if you go to the HUOA.org website, it's at the bottom on the left-hand corner, and you can just mail in your checks there. So thank you very much. And if you do want to put in the bottom, memo, Yuntaku Live, we'd love that too. So, mahalo.
That's really good.
All right. Okay, Linda's on it. She said, "Okay, I'm on it." 350 people watch me. Next.
Yes, Linda, we need your
I
help.
have
Thank you.
no
Thank
doubt.
you.
I have no doubt. Yeah, she gonna go. She gonna knock on people's doors. I guarantee
She
you.
got 350 people just in her A's on her contacts list.
Yeah. Just in her phone book A's. Yeah.
Okinawan ambassador.
All right. So just a quick reminder, we do have an email newsletter as well called the Purple Blast. We are making sure that we're sending it out more often than we normally do during COVID. Before it was like just as needed, but now it's weekly. And so one, to share news about our Yuntaku Live, what's coming up. But so we definitely encourage everyone to get on our newsletter list. It's a fun, easy, and fastest way to get all of the information about our upcoming events. So, all right. So go to the website, and HUA.org, and it says sign up for a newsletter, and you just click there. It's really simple: name, email, and then optional if you want to add which HUOA club you're in, and click subscribe, and we'll add you to that list. So thank you very much.
You guys.
All right. So let's see. I think next we're bringing on our executive director, who's been it's been a full year that Johnny Tamura has been. It's over a year, right? Just over a year. And what a year it's been having, and we're so thankful to have you in this position, John. So just wanted to let you kind of talk about some HOC updates and talk a little bit about
that is a super cool mask, by the way. How do we get one of those?
This here is a sign of the times, guys and gals. And so HUA wants to have you guys stay updated with the latest Okinawan mask. A good example of this one here with the HUA logo and a shisa proudly displayed on this side. The Monday crafters have been hard at work building, well, not building, sewing all these masks, and we're collecting quite a bit, making a great selection of masks for our online marketplace. As soon as we get that up and going, you'll have a chance to get a selection of masks. There'll even be different sizes because earlier Taro Higa in our office tried a mask on this size and she said, "Oh, this is really good because it covers my whole face." So,
yeah, I was like, that's too big for her.
it was a little too big, and but it was a man size, so they're making women's size, petite sizes, and all different colors. A lot of neat designs, like I said, Okinawa themed designs. So looking forward to the Okinawa marketplace. But again, there were 144 cases today. The center here, the Okinawan Center, is still closed, even though we worked through all the challenges and the requirements and in compliance with all the regulations, and we had our first virtual Okinawa video shoot this past Sunday. So big mahalo ipe nihe debiru to the groups that came out. And not only that, we had Okinawa weather inside our legacy hall because we lost our chiller. Our chiller went on the blink. So it was nice, hot, and muggy in there, and they really did an outstanding job, especially a Fusoriu who had to play through several groups, Jikata, and they were in there the whole time. So big mahalo to Sanda and his crew. Again, we're gonna keep the center closed at least to September 1st, but as the updates keep coming, we'll see how that goes. The main thing is that we keep everyone safe, and those in our community have to stay safe because we have such great volunteers. So stay tuned, stay tuned. But again, these masks are worn by many of our volunteers here in the office, and I wanted to start by introducing you to some of our office staff because we're calling tonight the behind the scenes of not only Yuntaku Live, but what is behind Yuntaku Live, the Hawaii Okinawa Center, HUA. So we're gonna bring you folks into HUA and visit some of our office staff that you don't necessarily get to meet. So we're gonna start with Bonnie and Karen.
Hi, Tai Gusuyo. This is Bonnie Miyashiro. I'm here at the Hawaii Okinawa Center, and I've been here since February of 1990, just about 4.5 months before the center opened in June. I belong to the Ozato Doshikai. My grandparents were actually one of the founding members, among the founding members of our club, which is over 100 years old. And one thing that when I first started working at the Hawaii Okinawa Center office, one thing that has impressed me and it has still to this day impresses me very much is the number of volunteers who come out and just do the best that they can, and in the spirit of Yuimaru. Many people that I've talked to from Okinawa, when I describe the organization and how the center was built and open, one of the first words that they'll mention is Imaru or Yuimaru. I'd like to say thank you to all of our supporters and all of our very generous donors, all of the people who have come out to help our association with all of our different projects. And hopefully when we return to some form of normalcy after the pandemic situation, we hope to see you again. Until then, everybody stay safe, be healthy. Until then, mata aimashou. Thank you.
Hi, Sai. My name is Karen Takara, and I have been working, I guess, part-time at the Okinawa Center for 15 years, since 2005. And it's been fun, meet all kinds of people, and everybody is so nice. I belong to Nakagusuku Sonjinkai, and that's where Jane Serikaku was also one of the members, and she was a past executive director for the Okinawa Center. Working at the HOC or HUOA, you meet all kinds of people, even like John Itomura, who thinks he is the most handsomest guy here, but anyway. But all kidding aside, the people are very, very nice. They're very humble, and we have so many volunteers. It's unimaginable. They come here. They clean the yard. We have Monday crafters, and it's really a fun place for everybody when they come here. They meet lots of people and make a lot of friends. I really appreciate all the volunteers and the supporters, especially at this time because, with this COVID-19, Okinawa Center we haven't been open for 4 months, and, people have made donations, and we really appreciate all the help we can get and all the donations that are coming in. So please continue to help as much as you can, and don't forget Yuntaku every Tuesday night. Okay, thank you. That's it. Bye.
Oh, I love Karen and Bonnie.
That's it. That's it. Yep, that's it.
Oh,
Karen, by the way, I don't think I'm the handsomest guy. I know I'm the handsome. But anyway, I changed mask. I changed to this mask, so I don't think anybody would want to buy this mask. Anyway, the real purpose of this show is to feature those people in our community that have done wonderful things. And of course, we've been focused on bringing into your living rooms entertainment, the senseis behind our cultural performance groups. And so tonight, we wanted to focus on two people who have been sitting in your living rooms this whole 15 episodes before tonight. And you know them as DJ and someone I called affectionately the Kunoichi Kaicho. If those of you that don't know what Kunoichi is, it's a female ninja As poor Lynn, she's been the president of a year where she's been working so hard behind the scenes, yet she can't come out in front and meet anyone and really represent HUA in public. So the best way has been representing HUA on Yuntaku Live and actually probably reaching a lot more people this year than any president has ever reached before. So we're we're gonna start by learning a little more about Lynn Miyashiro. So,
Well, thank
good
you, Josh.
evening, Lynn.
Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit concerned because I gave him a bunch of pictures, and now I'm wondering which ones you used. Oh
Well,
boy,
we
he's
want to
gonna
we
kill
want to
me. This is
start
my
like we
sister
always
too.
ask our guests. We ask them, tell us about yourself, your high school, where your roots, where you grew up.
Oh boy, Annie's gonna kill me. So in this photo, let me just explain. So I'm the one in the middle. Um, my sister Annie is on the left of the photo, my right, and then my cousin Julie, she's gonna kill me, is on on the right of the photo, my left. Um, this is it's probably a rehearsal. I'm gonna guess sometime circa 1989. Probably, I'm gonna guess it was at Lanakila Elementary School during a rehearsal for one of our recitals for the Nakasone Dance Academy. Um, and I started dancing with Lin Yoshiko Nakasone back in 19, I don't know, 80 something, 86 or so. And when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And it was, at the time, it's one of those things, your parents make you do it. You don't really realize how special it is until many, many years later. But I made my sister, that's my sister commenting now. I made her go look at all our childhood photos and send me photos. And thank goodness she found some. So this is the one of us doing. We also have another one of Sensei actually teaching us inside of the old dance studio, and I thought, oh, that one is actually precious. I know that again, Julie and Annie are going to kill me, but a lot of great memories. Every Saturday morning we were there. So yeah. Oh, and that's my dad. For those of you who have been in the Okinawan community for a long time, you'll know Wayne Miyashiro. He was president in 1990. And that was another big year for the association. It was the year we opened the Hawaii Okinawa Center. It was the 90th celebration of Okinawan immigration to Hawaii. And I just remember it being just a huge year. My sister and I were probably shuffled around to all the events that my dad went to. And this was the original HOC clear acrylic podium that was from 1990 in the openings ceremony. I think I remember.
And we still have that. We still have that podium. I'm always afraid of that podium because you have to make sure that your zipper is up. But your dad being the president in 1990, you grew up and ran around on the red dirt before
Oh man, yeah.
the Higa building and the Teruya building even came to be.
Very true. Before there was any grass in the field, or before there was, there's a lot of red dirt all over the place. And I clearly remember the opening day. There was a bunch of flags, the parade. I think there were pigeons flying in the air. It was a big deal. And I know it was a big deal for my dad too. Even as an 8-year-old, I could tell that he was, this was a big deal for him too. So, and the association. So a lot of great memories at the Hawaii Okinawa Center.
Yeah, your dad was a special guy. I got to know him very well when he became the executive director. And that was probably the first time I met you, and you're just a bubbling teenager. But again, he left a legacy behind, and to have you follow in his footstep must be something very special for you.
Yes. That's another photo. So, I realized I don't have a lot of digital photos from the mid 90s. Thank goodness. They're all somewhere in an actual photo album. But between 95 or so, I started doing Ryukyu Koboro Taiko. and we practiced every Monday and Thursday at the Okinawa Center. And so I was there a lot. And this is at one of our performances. My dad and I think he was probably emceeing some event that we were performing at. And another great memories. I'm so sad I don't have my actual taiko videos. They're all on VHSs somewhere.
What is that? VHS?
I need to digitize them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure somebody.
Okay, I grew up on VHS, guys. So that talks about Hawaii. What are your Okinawan roots?
Right, and so my dad's side, I'm actually half. Oh my gosh, that's another one. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm just laughing. Probably another, who knows, HUOA event at the Okinawa Center. But so my dad's side of the family is from Nishihara, Gaza, actually, and I'm a member of both Nishihara Chojin Kai and Gaza Yonagusuku Doshi Kai. My family, so Gaza and Yonagusuku are two little aza within Nishihara town, Nishihara Cho. And so for some reason they made their own club when they came to Hawaii. So they have many members in oh my goodness, all these pictures. My sister's gonna kill me. This is one I got from Carlene Chinen, actually. I really wanted to thank Carlene. I had never seen it before, and she was looking through the Hawaii Herald files. But this was us at the Taikai 2006, actually. Worldwide Uchinanchu Festival. So this is about, just 2 years before he passed away. So a lot of really good memories from that Taikai year. Oh man, this was the 1990 celebration at Bishop Museum.
Going back a little bit, you mentioned that you performed at the Lanakila Community Center, and you studied under Nakasone Sensei up in just below Punui. But you didn't grow up on that side of the island.
No, I went from Kaneohe, born and raised Kaneohe. So I went to Castle High School. Yay, Castle Night. Oh, there's Asen Sensei. Yeah, this was must be 1990 study tour or Taikai when we went with Nakasone. Oh, that's the one. This is the photo of us dancing, or Sensei attempting to teach us. I was looking for pictures of Daz and but because he's 3 years younger than me, and the difference between 12 and 9, it's kind of big when you're a kid, right? And then we weren't in the same class, and so unfortunately I cannot find any photos of Daz and I between dancing together, but we were always in the different circles. And as he was getting rising up, I kind of quit. So hey, whoops, yeah. And I started doing more taiko at that time. But it was through Ryukyu Kobudo Taiko that I actually got introduced to karate and kobudo. And that is where I really kind of was like, wow, this is something I really enjoy doing. I really like it. And so I started, these are my relatives, in Okinawa. This is my Gaza, Nishihara, Miyashiro relatives that they take really good care of me every time. So this is part of my karate gang here. Oh, you guys don't have to show all the photos I sent you. With Mitch Shimomura Sensei. And so it was actually through Ryukyu Kobudo Taiko that I was introduced to Mitch Shimomura. And then he said, if you're really interested, you should come and learn, karate more seriously. And so I did. I took him up on that. And I started going to his classes every Saturday at the Nu'uanu YMCA. I always wanted to take karate when I was younger. But it was something that my mom said no, because I was always too busy already. So I kind of took it as an adult. So after right around as I was graduating from high school, I got more serious about it. And eventually I was able to get up to my brown belt with Mitch. And then he said, I really want you to go to Okinawa and get your black belt there. And so that's where he introduced me to Shiroma Katsuo Sensei, who is in the black pants here. But yeah, and what an experience. I mean, I'm so glad I had that introduction. So I was able to train with all of these. I mean, you can tell these guys are the real deal. They had arms like tree trunks. It was, let's just say it took a bit of getting used to doing training with them, because like I was like, oh my gosh, he goes, oh wow, your hands are so dainty.
And you
Yeah.
and amazingly, you still have a relationship with him. We as
Yeah, this is
recently as
actually recent.
February, when we were
Yeah.
in Okinawa for Aisatsu, you went to visit your dojo.
Yeah, this photo is actually from 2020, right during our Aisatsu trip. Before COVID hit, John, myself, and Patrick got to go to Okinawa, and it was such a blessing to be able to see everyone again. They're all still doing very well. I mean, kind of great that some things just don't change, right? And I got there, and it was just like old times, same guys, just 10 years older. And so a lot of what I learned was that, man, I still got a lot to learn. And so karate has been something that I was really thankful that I seriously studied for the 5 years that I got to live in Okinawa. And I'm really thankful that I took the time to do that, because there is no place other in the world that you can say you studied at the home of karate and kobudo. So, oh yeah, that was my black belt ceremony back in 2004, and then 2020 again. So, yeah.
It is an amazing looking dojo.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
In your time at Nishihara, or did you also spend time in Okinawa working for Kensho?
Yes. So I did 3 years on the JET program. Well, I did 5 years total. Sorry, 3 years in Nishihara town. I was technically a CIR, but what I was doing was a lot of English teaching in the elementary schools. So, real fun fact: I have no education background, but they threw me into the elementary schools, and I taught everything from kindergarten through 6th grade English classes. And it was, I will admit, for the first 3 months, I had a really hard time. But after that, I loved it. I realized that I had a chance to really get to know these kids and teach them something the way. For elementary school, there was no textbook. So I got to make up things. So I taught them through music. I taught them through we went through phonics and things like that, and exposed them to different cultural aspects. And that was just really, really fun. So, what makes me feel old is that the kids who I was teaching as like 6th graders back then are now like adults with their own children. So that scares me, but
So what led you to Kensho?
Right. And so I did 3 years. Usually it's max of 3 years. But I got a special position that year. It just happened to open up where I could be the prefectural advisor for all the other English teachers in Okinawa. And so I got to move to the Kensho, which is it's like the state capital in Okinawa. So went from like a city municipal board of education to the state board of education. And what an experience. I mean, that was, I got to work in a real, Japanese style office. Had to learn all the protocols, who goes in the elevator first, who sits down first, who sits closest to the door. That kind of, all of those really, I mean, at first it was really stressful, but I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity. And I was surrounded by two other English teachers who I became really good friends with. And, I got to see the inner workings of the Kensho too when it's time for legislative session. Man, that place is crazy, but it was such a great experience. And I spent 2 full years there at Kensho. So
I think that was one of the times that I visited Okinawa, and you were an
it was
employee at Kensho. I was so impressed, and you had passed one of the highest proficiency language and writing tests.
Barely passed.
Wow.
I barely. If this was passing, I got here. But pass is pass, right? So I did the Japanese language proficiency test, and I really got to expand my knowledge of Japanese while I was there. So extremely grateful for that. I always say I had a guardian angel watching out for me, allowing me to stay in Okinawa for so long.
So what brought you back home, and what have you been doing since you've been back home besides HUOA?
Besides HUOA stuff, so I decided I wanted to come back home to kind of, I'd been away from Hawaii almost a decade at that point. And so if you include college and all of that, so decided that, if I really wanted to have a future in Hawaii, I had never lived in Hawaii as an adult, But most people who, leave and come back, sometimes it's hard to find a job. So I thought, you know what, I'll go to grad school. And so I found a Japan-focused MBA program at UH. And I said, great, I can still, utilize my Japanese skills and get an MBA at the same time. So that was right when the college was turning into the Scheidler College of Business. So I got, again, good timing. It was just a great time to be there. It was the first gift that Mr. Scheidler gave to the business school at UH, and so we had a lot of great times during those. I did the full-time program for 2 years, and I did Japanese classes in the morning and then MBA classes in the afternoon. And man, that was intense. Yeah, and what I realized,
you've also maintained a relationship with UH, and you can go ahead and tell people you actually have a very special relationship with the East West Center now.
Right. Yeah. So it was through my time at UH. So I liked it so much. I ended up working there after. I became the marketing manager at the Scheidler College of Business after graduating from the MBA program, and I had a great experience there too. And it was through Scheidler that I actually got to work with a lot of the East West Center students, and come full circle now through all my work with HUOA and through IQ 360. Now I've been appointed one of the board of governors for the East West Center. And it's been exciting to kind of be part of this international community again. It's something I missed a little bit, so it's exciting to be part of that again. And Okinawa has a very special relationship with the East West Center. A lot of the leaders in Okinawa have come and studied at the East West Center here in Hawaii and have gone back. And so we have many generations actually of people who've gone back and forth. And I found out that University of the Ryukyus is one of the only universities that has an actual office at the East West Center because there's so much activity that's going back and forth. So I want to also thank, the generations before me who have kept up that relationship with the East West Center. So very good.
Oh, that's great. The main thing is that we get to hear our Uchinanchu names in all areas of not only private as well as public sector. So it's a great job that you're doing, staying involved.
Yeah,
you were installed as president in 2020. It seems so long ago, yet not so long ago with this pandemic. I think we have some pictures from your installation.
Oh, good Lord! Yeah, it seems like ages ago.
That.
Oh, okay. So we I saw them, but we didn't have time to put them on. But that really was your last opportunity to be in front of live people, and but you've done a great job since that time coming forward to now working behind the scenes on so many projects. We really are thankful for all your efforts this year as Kunuchi Kaicho.
I forgot to mention too, one of the most life-changing experiences was being a student on the Hawaii Okinawa Student Exchange Program. That truly was a life-changing experience for me. I got to go to Okinawa as a teenager without my parents. That was like the best thing ever, and Tom Yamamoto was my chaperone. And so it's just totally full circle, right? That it comes back, and I feel like this is the community that truly raised me, and so I feel kind of a duty or responsibility to give back to this community that helped raise me.
Well, not only give back, we want you to protect us with your karate. So normally when we have guests, they do a performance. So I think you should stand up from your chair right now and do a karate performance.
Yes, please.
How about I'm sure we have plenty of video, right?
Okay, I guess we can go to a video. Oh, that is
We're not.
awesome. Although
Oh man.
I do recall someone telling you that, by performing karate at the Okinawa Festival and then again performing karate at the installation banquet, you're gonna have a hard time finding a boyfriend.
No, no,
But
no.
no, but luckily you found a really nice guy. So
Yeah.
again, I hope a lot of people have now learned a lot more about you, and those of us that have to work with you know a lot of this. But again, Yuntaku Live allows us to share a lot more about you with the rest of the people out there. So I hope they enjoyed that. I want to introduce you to a couple more people here at Hawaii Okinawa Center at this time. Let's go to Karo and Elaine.
Hola, buenas tardes, buenas noches, buen día. Hi Sai, hi Tai. And konbanwa, konnichiwa, aloha. Hi, hola, soy Caro. My name is Caro Higa. Full name Carolina, but people call me Caro. I have worked here since September last year. So September, October, November, December, enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo. Junio, julio, agosto, like lost count. 12 months. No, 12 months. Almost 12 months. Okay, I belong to Kitanaka Gusuku Sonjinkai in Argentina and in Hawaii, and Young Okinawans of Hawaii. What I like best about working here is my boss. My boss is the best boss in the whole wide world. No, my coworkers are all really nice, and all the volunteers that come here every day, they work super hard, and I really like working with them. Okay, thank you everybody for watching, for tuning in. Don't forget, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Hawaii time on YouTube or Facebook. Follow us. Thank you.
Hi, aloha. I am Elaine Johnston, and I've been working here since November 2018. And I belong to Gushikawa. I'm not sure what kai, and Okinawa City Goeku. And what I like best about HUOA is my boss, John, and my fellow workers. They're really, really nice. We seem to get along as a team, and I like that. And all the people that I've met so far is super, super nice. We have a lot of volunteers, and I've gotten to know a lot of people through that. I really appreciate all the help they give us, because we need it. And I'd like to just say thank you, HUOA. You have a great community, and I like being here. Thank you.
And Karo Higa, if those of you watched Yuntaku Live, I think our very first broadcast was, our second broadcast was Brandon, and that's Brandon's other half, or she might say better half. And so we're lucky to have her. Last year Karen Kubahori retired, and we thought, wow, how can you replace Karen Kubahori? But we were able to find Karo, and she's been doing a fantastic job filling Karen's big shoes.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Karo, and also Elaine has been our bookkeeper, and especially in a year like this and going forward, we're really gonna need somebody like Elaine, who's just her attention to detail is amazing, and we're gonna need that as we count every penny and try to squeeze water out from rocks. But again, thank you to both of them. Speaking of money, I paid them big money to prop me up as the best boss in the world. So your checks are in the mail. So we learned about Lynn, and thank you, Lynn, for all that information. But our other host, as you very well know, has been our bearded, I want to say like just
Yes.
genius, mastermind, Santa Claus.
Yes, he's
He's
so great.
from the from episode 1. He's been behind. We did a video earlier. We couldn't get it in on time, but we did a video of all what's going on back here with all the cameras and all the computers and the laptops. I mean, we started a lot simpler, but we sort of expanded, and he's had to keep up with this.
He's so
And
great.
so to see him, even tonight, as calm as he looked when he said, "Hi, guys," poor guy was just stressed out. Although I learned this morning that stressed spelled backward is dessert. So don't worry. But anyway, he
Very nice.
was just stressed out, the poor guy, but you'd never ever know it. And DJ, sorry if I'm not allowed to say this, but you are going to be a new daddy any time now. So
Yeah.
we have some people in here, Jacob Higa, Chris Iwamura, Bree Amada, and they're all learning how this is done because baby is coming. It could be
Any day
tonight,
now.
it could be
Yeah.
tomorrow, and DJ's so busy. Hopefully it wasn't yesterday. So we are so lucky that DJ's been helping us through all of this. So let's bring on DJ to talk a little bit about himself.
This is so
Finally,
great.
DJ.
What's going on, everybody? Hi Sai, hi Sai, hi Sai. And then I'm not used to. I'm usually so Lynn and I we're usually on the other side, right? We're
Yeah.
we're the ones asking questions, and this is a little awkward to be the one being asked, right? So I might go on and on about nonsense. So I have Jacob Higa here, who's going to actually yank me out if I start talking too much. So please, anytime, yeah. And by the way, that's exactly what I look like without a beard, even now. And so. But gosh, do we have 2 hours?
Oh no.
Just a little under 2 hours.
You're gonna
Yeah,
see
yeah,
all
sure. Why
the
not? Why
viewers
not?
start
Oh.
dropping off.
Already people looking at this. Well, first
Okay,
of
so
all,
everyone needs to know.
yeah. Well, everybody
outfit
needs to know
is
his
this?
name is
What
not disc
cool
jockey.
outfit is this?
No, his name is not disc jockey. His DJ is David Jones. Just in
David
case you
Jones.
didn't know. Okay. But yes, if you look at this outfit, go ahead, Lynn.
Oh yeah, everyone's just like,
That's
wow.
not for my school. I know that.
Yeah.
So it's actually in Okinawa. So I mean, long story short, I was born in Okinawa. My mother is from Okinawa, born and raised in Okinawa. My father is from the States, and he was in the Air Force, so that's how they met. And at the time, we were living in Okinawa, so I actually grew up in Okinawa from like most of up until 9 years old. And they put me so my first language is actually Japanese. So they put me in what it's called Saniku Shogakko. So it's a private Christian school in Okinawa, all speaking Okinawan. And sorry,
Okinawa.
Japanese.
Oh, I was gonna say this
I
is
wish I was speaking Okinawan, yeah. No, Japanese. I wish I knew how to speak Okinawan, but and I haven't really spoken Japanese since. So I'm not as proficient as Lynn. I have to say, I can conversate, but reading and writing, no. I can read the when we're singing karaoke, I can read read that, but yeah, and that's again in Saniku Shogakko, and so from there, I grew up till I was 9. My father retired from the Air Force, and that's a picture of me in one of the plays. And apparently, I think I'm sure some people consider me a umaku. Umaku means like a rascal. I was a rascal umaku back then too. So I used to like to steal the show and grab the mic and start talking and doing like I should be dancing, but I go off and just do my own thing. So, and then that's my family in Okinawa. This is a little bit more recent, 2011, but that's when I went back to Okinawa. It was actually during the Taikai, Uchinanchu Taikai. My of course I'm the Caucasian looking guy. Right to the right of me is my half brother, older brother, and his wife and his children on the bottom. And those are all my cousins. The females are all my cousins on the right side and their kids. And so
boy,
my mother is
without the beard, I thought you were the one on the far left. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
He's not
that's
allowed to do
this is still pre-beard. And
this is
on the
great.
bottom, all the way to the bottom right is my mother. Yeah, and that's my
Yay!
family. My mother in the middle, father in the left-hand side. Shucks, I think I forgot to tell them that I was going to be on. But
Yeah, do they know they're gonna be on? Just like I didn't actually tell my cousin Julie.
Oh, there, Lori.
that's my wife,
Lori.
Lori, and then my parents. A little bit more recent picture,
Mhm.
and this is Young Okinawans of Hawaii, and so this is actually 2007. And so, well, before I get to that, right? So it's interesting because I grew up in Okinawa. I still remember a lot of music, experiencing ASA, and but up until 9, so I was really young, right? And so, and I spoke Japanese. But after 9, I moved to the States, and at Washington State. My father retired from the Air Force, moved to Washington State. And I pretty much just forgot my Okinawan identity. So we were going to a mainland school, elementary school, high school, college. I completely forgot about it. So from like 10 years old to 25 when I moved to Hawaii, I was like a pretty typical mainland kid. I think most people over there in Washington State probably don't know what Okinawa is. So when people ask me, "What are you?" I'd say, Okinawan. Oh, what is that? And so I'd say, I'm half Japanese. And later on in life, I became even more passionate, right? So I'd say, I'm Okinawan.
Right.
But so went to college there, high school, college, and I ended up moving here when I was 25. So 2006. Yeah, 2006. And so right after I moved, so my family lived here. My parents, they sent me to college, and they were Central Washington University is where I attended school. And they, as soon as I went to school, they just left me, just up and left Washington State and moved to here, Hawaii. And after I graduated, I ended up following them and moving here to Hawaii. And that's how. So after I moved, what happened was. My mom took me to the 2006 Uchinanchu Taikai. So as soon as I landed the next day, I went to Okinawa. Didn't know what was going on. Don't remember too much about Okinawa. But then that Taikai is what just woke me up and like, wow, this, saw Asa and just really kind of woken that sleeping Okinawan giant, I guess you could say, right? And so got to see my family. I didn't see my family for, I'd say, over 10, 15 years at that point, 10 years at that point. And so it was really a reawakening experience. So, I tell people, a lot of people, so people that go to a high school exchange program to Okinawa, and even the students coming here, a lot of times, like, we forget about our Okinawan identity, or we just, it's just dormant, lying dormant. I feel like when people travel to Okinawa and vice versa, Okinawa students or people come here to visit, they have that kind of the identity awakening, right? And so that was it for me. And man, I came back. Didn't know anything. In fact, I didn't even realize until Taikai that there was a lot of Okinawans that live in Hawaii. And so after that, I went down to the Okinawa Center. And that was the first time I met Wayne Miyashiro, so Lynn's father.
Oh, wow.
He was the executive director at the time. And so I asked Wayne, hey, I really got excited by going to the Taikai. How do I get involved? How do I learn more? And so I asked Wayne, is there a club I can join? And so he said, there's a lot of town clubs, and what town are you from? Oh, Naha, Shudi area is where my mom's family is from. He said, well, all those clubs, and sorry, I hope nobody takes offense, but all those clubs, mostly older people. So, you don't want to go there. Try join Young Okinawans of Hawaii. And that's how I got linked up with Young Okinawans of Hawaii. So this picture over here is about that time.
Yeah, those young guys like me in there.
So on the right-hand side, all the way in the shishi is John. Yeah. And then who else is on there?
Oh, right.
If you look in the middle, center. So Brianne Yamada is actually part of the HUOA board. And so I think she's maybe high school. She's actually here helping, volunteering tonight. But I think she was like high school at the time. So that's when I actually first met HUOA, or that's when I first
and
met.
Point out DJ, just in case people don't recognize him again without a beard.
It's
Standing
so
next to John, they're gonna mistake him with John
sorry.
there
I
back
feel like
there.
I'm really close to the camera because I'm trying to zoom in myself. Oh, this is great.
Boy, not too long ago though, right, DJ? Not too long ago,
Not
and
that
then we're
long
so
ago.
glad that you found
Oh,
your destiny found you actually, and brought back your fire and your passion for Shimanchu, and tradition. So
this
It
is
was
so
it
great.
was quite the journey, and since joining Young Okinawans Hawaii, I've had the opportunity to meet so many people. This is a more recent picture, maybe a
Here we
year or two ago at the Jikoen Hongwanji. So, this is after the Jikoen Obon dance, and so I mean, great family,
go.
all throughout my time. And so I'm still a member of Young Okinawans Hawaii. I was a president for the club from 2012 to 2017, I think it was 5 years, and met so many great people. So along my Young Okinawans journey, I've met, let's see. So I actually, at the same time when I first joined, I also tried out Ryukyu Koku Matsuri Daiko. I did Sosaku Eisa, which is more contemporary Eisa, and that's where I met Brienne, got to know Brienne a little bit more. And then also did Okinawa dance with Eric Wada sensei at Tamagusukuryu Shosetsukai. I did that for a couple of years. And then right after, Okuanshin is quite a bit involved with Young Okinawans Hawaii. We've been very fortunate to have them help us, and they really, really, really get into the history, the tradition, and even taking dance with Eric Sensei. I've really gotten to. I have to credit him for actually teaching. Part of becoming a little bit more of an adult and more mature, being more. Respectful of others, respect for elders, and respect for tradition and culture is really, so. I mean, that's when I really, really got more involved with Okinawan culture. Just got really passionate. So, yeah.
you're currently a VP for HUOA.
Yes.
I
Yes.
am, and so I'm VP currently, but I originally became involved with HUOA board. Of course, once I became a president, I was part of the board of directors, so I would go to the meetings. But I've met Cyrus Tamashiro, who was the president or about to be the president. This is back in 2011. He was going to be president for 2012, and not many people may know this, but he was the first president of Young Okinawans of Hawaii, which is in 1981, which was when I was born. He was the very first president, and so I had a great respect for him right off the bat. And so I worked with him a little bit, and he asked me to join the HUOA executive council. So that's when I became a first-time vice president for 2012 under Cyrus. And then George Bartels was the president the following year, and under him as well too. So I mean, again, HOA has been another reawakening because and Lynn probably can attest to this. We were one of the younger ones on the board, even at the time. Lynn was on the board at the time too, and you just learn you meet so many amazing people. You get to experience so many great things, like when you go to Taikai, just through connections through HOA, you get to meet just wonderful people, not just here in Hawaii, but also in Okinawa. So just an amazing experience. You get to work with other leaders and learn and observe from them. So, and also working with John, I've learned and observed from him quite a bit over these years too. So very grateful to those individuals that help make me a little bit wiser, kind of almost not so young Okinawans of Hawaii.
Well, of course, by observing me, you become wiser because you learn what not to do. We are so lucky to have both of you and many of our younger members who have become involved with HOA. As you know, we're calling this the new normal with the pandemic, but it's forced us to move much more quickly into this era of computers and the internet and virtual reality, so to speak, virtual performances. That without the help of people like DJ and Lynn, and them being so well versed in Okinawan culture as well as being such articulate individuals, we are blessed and very lucky to have them involved. And speaking of which there's Emma with cute picture.
Before I get to that, I want to kind of respond to John's comment. One of the most amazing thing about the Okinawan community here in Hawaii, and I'm sure a lot of people see it as an amazing asset to this community, is people are super something. If you're Okinawan, you have Okinawan identity. If you have passion for Okinawa, they are very, very passionate. And what's amazing is, people that volunteer for HUOA, the different clubs, Hoka, the Geino groups, and a lot of our guests that you see, they are like 150% like all in helping the communities thrive, and something that we're all very big proud of. And with that kind of mentality where you get to work with volunteers like John and Lynn that are just like 150%, it motivates you to want to work just as hard. And so it's great when you have a team like that. So it just really empowers you. And I think we just feed off of each other and be able to do, things like Yuntaku and a virtual festival. So it's stressful sometimes, right, Lynn? John,
Yeah,
but man, at the end of the day,
Dessert.
just amazed at what we all achieve as a community. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and that's the other half, right? And a lot of it, we spend so much. We're so passionate about the Okinawa things. We spend a lot of time outside of work and outside of our regular personal lives, right? So that's my daughter, Emma Yui Jones, and so she's 3.5 years old. That's this is actually a picture that Lynn took, and it's one of my favorite pictures of both of us. And so she's been amazing. And then that is my wife Lori. And again, going back to there's always I don't know what the saying is, but they're always for Liv, for everybody who volunteers in the Gino group and HOA. There's somebody that supports you back home. And
Yes.
I want to say thank you so much to my wife Lori for supporting me for many years. So she probably thinks I'm crazy of doing things Okinawan. So
I know.
I on behalf of HUA would like to personally thank Lori for loaning us DJ.
And she's probably looking, her eyes probably going up like, man, I'm due any time now.
Yeah.
And
Can you just end the show and send him home already? Yeah.
Oh, the many hours that we have, our significant others all are part of this too. And literally they do things that help allow us to be here, right? And I can say that for many of our leadership people, you can see their spouses and significant others doing just as much of the work to make sure that to allow us to do all of this. And so I just want to say a very deep thank you to all of our spouses and significant others out there.
Yeah, thank you. Amazing people, amazing viewers too.
Yes.
But getting back to this great project that you started, 4 months ago. We're on the 16th week. Can you imagine? It's been 4 months since you started Yuntaku Live. And so in that time, we've had, I think, a lot of fun, not only, going through the great programs, but also the funny parts of it. So we wanted to share and take all of you people back to some of these scenes.
We have seen Hoka perform. This is really what they're known for. Their shikimai performance.
Music, and then I think that's how I was.
Oops. Voila.
No way, Ron.
Yeah.
That's how I got involved in.
How's the mic? Is it good?
Is it okay?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Falling down again. Live TV. All right. But yeah, we just wanted to. So I think a lot of the crowd knows what we're talking about when we talk story with Sandu Sensei. We have so much. We could go back for hours, right? And just talk story.
Yeah, really. I think.
Hi, Ty.
Hey, good to see you, everyone. You You see DJ in the back. There you go. We're as usual scrambling to get this all this equipment to work today. We're trying, as always, new things, getting ready for.
Oh, hi, sorry, everyone.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Yes, now I can hear you. Okay. So there's a bunch of us Miyashiro people on this call today.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. We're continuing to have problems with our sound today. Can't figure out how to address it. So we may maybe come back another week with this Yuntaku with Allison. And we want to apologize to our viewers, Allison, but we want to make sure that we all get a full quality Yuntaku live, especially with Allison singing ability. So what do you think, Elaine? I think you're going to have to cut this one off.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, there you guys are. Hi.
Oh, hi. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Emmy. Hi, Kotmi.
So we'll catch up with our calls again soon. We'll try to figure out our sound issues and our video issues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mommy, you're famous.
Mommy, you're famous.
My test dance is chosen at random because I've been practicing that one longer.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, great. Yeah. Really good. Very good. Yeah. Because you got to practice all of them, right? So that's what's tough about it.
Chibario. You can do it.
Oh,
Just around the corner next year.
Oh, Dad. So how tall are you?
I keep telling people 5'8", but my friends say I'm 5'7".
Okay, so 5'8", 5'7".
I'm not quite so sure.
It's funny when you stand next to the rest of us short Uchinan. You know what I mean? Like Oh, well, thanks, Aaron, for
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
And
I mean, even if it's the smallest it's pretty awesome.
Thank you for taking pictures, though. We had the Allison trial. He was literally army crawling on the ground.
wait, here coming up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna get in trouble from Lynn. I apologize.
You know,
So guys, that was my fault. So the video, it was, long story short, it was a busy day. I thought I edited it with the overlays that has an explanation for each part. So in the beginning parts were the funny moments from our past episodes, and towards the end, we did a lot of testing, right, on off days to make sure it goes on correctly. So Jacob helped us, and Lynn. That was Lynn actually on the day of the training session, right? And she was actually just testing for us being a model. And I'm sure she's going to get mad that I put that video on there.
When you see some of those videos when we're deciding what to show, you can tell the one with Allison Arakawa, and I was trying to say, okay, it looks like we got to go off the air on this one. And you see Lynn in the screen going, yeah, take it off. Take it off. You see her fingers, like she probably didn't even know her finger. Take it off. And then, Erin Pye was so cute. She was just she was tired actually after her dance, she was saying. And so she was trying to talk, but at the same time she's just laughing. And the thing is, you don't get to see, especially with those classical dances, they always have such a serious look, and just only in Yuntaku Lab you get to see them fully, with the makeup and dress,
Live.
and then they're just to hear her laugh was so heartwarming. So, we wanted to bring back some of those moments and share it with you.
But again,
Denise said she thought she was gonna hear you sing, John. She was ready to hear the
Oh
karaoke,
gosh, yeah.
the karaoke test that we
you know,
did.
you know what I'll do is later tonight I'll put the clear version because I don't think the sound came out correctly either. I want to we want to make sure we hear my singing.
Yeah,
But we're gonna get the full version of the video. We'll post it on Facebook
yeah,
and
genki,
YouTube.
genki.
But
Yeah,
real quick, so again, lots of props to people that do live broadcasting because wow, it's so stressful. Elaine, John.
I didn't finish introducing you to our HOC Hawaii Okinawa Center volunteers and employees. So let's introduce you to another set of employees and volunteers.
Okay.
Hi, Sai. My name is Clayton Uzo, and I've been working here at the Okinawan Center on a part-time basis for the last 2.5 years. I belong to Hui Maka'ala, and Hui Maka'ala is best known for their annual fashion show fundraiser to award scholarships to deserving high school and college graduates. The best thing I like about HUOA is this is like a jewel to the Okinawan community. So it's very important and the utmost importance that we keep this place in tip-top condition. So for all you volunteers, all the volunteers out there, thank you very much for your support and your help. And Ipe Nipe Debru.
Hi, Gary Chaku. My dad is Chatang, my mom is Yomitang. I kind of take care of the pond right now until things quiet down. And I try to fix whatever is broken around here. And, I like doing whatever, repairing stuff like that. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Chiga Pigo. I've been volunteering at the Hawaii Okinawa Center for a few weeks now. Yeah. While volunteering here, I realized although HOC, HUA does have a lot of office staff, has a lot of support, they're always willing to take in more and more volunteers to help with organizing the office, the library, and the exhibit. And if you come, you can even learn to do some MacGyvering. As you can see, that was my first task, trying to fix or help with the leak. So you can come help MacGyver, or if you want to just donate so we can get a new AC system, that'd be awesome too. I don't have to put up tarps or hoses. Oh yes, I belong to Yomitan Club of Hawaii and Nakagusku. Thank you very much. Oh, I also perform Shishamai with Okinawa Creative Arts, Sanshing with Hawaii Okinawa Minyo Kyokai, and also do Asa with Chinagu Asa Hawaii.
Aloha! I'm Jan Kawachi, and I belong to the Hawaii Shuri Naha Club. I've been volunteering here at HOC for about 2 years, and what I really like about working here is the people. The people, the staff, the volunteers, they all make you feel like part of the family, and I really like that. What I do here at HUC is I help with the donations. And so I want to thank you all for submitting donations to help all the various programs that we have here at HUA. Thank you. Aloha.
And so really quick, I wanted to show you a quick run through what it looks like. Yeah.
Oh, are you going to show us?
If I can hold this. Yeah. So this is where the guests typically go, right? Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see.
Oh, there.
Here's the computer. where the guests usually see. So this is a camera for the guests, and then this is what the guests see. And then behind the scenes, we have the team helping out with Yuntaku Live. So we got this computer and
Moral
massive
support.
wires over
Massive
here.
moral support back there.
And then we also have John over here. Yeah.
Yes.
And so just wanted to show, kind of give everybody a preview of what it looks like. We've grown quite a bit from first episode, but again, I mean, there's been a lot of growing pains and learning, but
yeah, thank you to the community for sticking with us. Yeah.
No, again, I want to remind everyone. I mean, this is Yuntaku. Yuntaku is really to just get together, talk story, have have fun. Like Dave's already had DJ's having fun over there, and that's what Yuntaku is. I mean, we're live. I mean, we didn't plan the camera falling down just now, so we're glad that you've all been able to join in with us. Again, the whole purpose of starting Yuntaku Live was because we were on basically shutdown mode, right? Everybody was stay-at-home orders. So how do we bring Okinawa the feeling, the chimugukuru to everyone? Because normally there's a recital, there's a party, there's a shininkai, there's something
after the party.
and, yeah, and so how we're gonna do that, and the idea was this is a way to bring all that into people's homes in the comfort of their pajamas, shorts, and t-shirts, and they can eat dinner and spend an hour or two with us. So again, I hope all of you have enjoyed the efforts of DJ Lin and everyone involved. It really is the true meaning of Yuntaku.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much to our whole crew. I'm not one of the technical ones. You definitely don't want me running the show behind the scenes. So they just put me in front of the camera and don't let me touch any of the wires. But it's just been such a great experience. So a lot of us have different skill sets, right? And that's what we've been learning too. Like everyone brings a different skill set, and we're really appreciative of the new skill sets that we're learning to utilize here through our Okinawan community. So thank you. And just like for our virtual Okinawan festival coming to you live September 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, the main days will be the 5th and the 6th. And, we're looking for video editors and a bunch of other new skills that we didn't have to use before so much at the convention center. But having said that, I'm so grateful for the teams. We have people in the Bay Area who are helping us. We have people in New York City who are helping us because they can. They don't need to physically be here. And so it's just a wonderful way for all of us to remain kind of reconnect, almost be socially connected, even though we can't be physically together. So
I mean, even being connected to, I see Robert Bounds is making comments throughout the night. So again, thanks for joining us, Robert. I'm glad to hear from you. And again, if any of you out there, whether you're here on Oahu or out there, if you think you can help, by all means, let us know. And going all the way back to our volunteers, we have about 10 gardeners on Monday, a few on Tuesday, and maybe 1 or 2 on Wednesday. But we could always use volunteers like that. If any of you come to the Okinawan Center, you see how beautiful our landscape is. That is not paid for. We can't afford that. We're lucky to have volunteers. And much like all the efforts you see here today, the last 16 weeks, and coming up in the virtual Okinawa Festival, is the efforts of lots and lots of volunteers. So ipe nishe de biru.
Yeah.
One more thing, if possible. And, I see Junu and Ueunten Sensei saying thank you for sharing your stories. But, we talked about all the different volunteers that help out with Yuntaku and the HOC. I want to give a big, I think all of us here, we want to give a big mahalo to the guests, the special guests that come on to here, because they're the ones that make up the show. We usually sit down beforehand to talk about, how to work with the program. They spend a lot of time in preparation, practicing, and to make sure that we share their story the way it should be. So big thank you to the guests, the musicians, and I think we're very lucky in Hawaii to have such talented people.
Yeah,
And bring them
other
on as guests, right?
they might only have one or two senseis that do. We have this whole community of performing arts peoples of different schools, different types, levels, and we're so fortunate to have that, and it's just something that oftentimes, especially when I'm getting stressed out, I have to stop and remember, like, this is such a special community, and that we, just to get perspective on how special it is, we have such depth and richness, and I'm so glad we get to able to record this, share it for future generations, so that we all continue to share that. So, yay! Mama Chiburu's in Tokyo. All right.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hey.
Amy Tangan, thank you.
Wow. Okay. So
it's amazing to be able to connect with people around the world. Yeah.
I think DJ and Lynn didn't think that we could do an hour show. I had all the confidence in the world that we'd go over. And sure enough, we did. But we don't want to keep all of you from your busy schedules, like eating dinner and watching Netflix. So at this time, any last words from DJ and Lynn?
For me, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So for us, real quick, we are planning to do a Yuntaku live show every week. Continue to do it through the festival. So we already have some exciting guests already scheduled. In fact, our next guest will be from Okinawa as well too. So very excited. Hope you guys tune in. Thank you for supporting us. Yeah, every week after week.
And thank you. I'd like both John and DJ said, thank you for your support, and we'll continue to reach out to you. Stay connected with each other. Watch out for your family and friends, and please join us for our next Yuntaku Live next week. So, ippe ni he de biru.